I have some breaking news to report regarding a new translation of the Bible that I discovered in recent days, and this new translation comes in very handy in answering a number of comments that keep coming up. Here's the background on my discovery. Over the past few weeks, a number of my videos have received a substantial increase in views, which I was happy to see. Accompanying those views were many new comments, of course, but one type of comment kept coming up over and over again, dozens of times. That particular comment was that Trump can't be the Antichrist because the Bible teaches us that the Antichrist is gay. Now, although many of those who left that comment didn't really know what Bible verses said that, they knew it was in the Bible somewhere. Still, others who posted that comment did know that they need to simply point me to Daniel 11:37 in the King James translation. Once I saw that, they were sure I'd certainly take down my videos claiming that Trump matched the biblical descriptions of the Antichrist. We're all familiar with that verse, or we should be, but let's take a quick look at it here. And sure enough, verse 37 kind of looks like it's saying that the Antichrist won't desire women. That sure doesn't sound like our boy Donald, does it? Something seemed odd about this verse, though. Nor the desire of women just didn't seem to fit in with the context of the surrounding verses. In fact, saying the Antichrist was gay, or not interested in sex, was an entirely different subject tossed into the middle of verse 37. So I decided to take the afternoon off the other day, and I visited a local cave to see if I could in fact track down another translation that might shed some light on this verse. And as luck would have it, I was able to discover a very rare copy of the BPV Bible. Now, I'm going to show that to you now, but before I do, I must warn you that the BPV translation will come as a bit of a shock to many of you. Simply put, it's going to place Daniel 11:37 in a whole new light from now on. Ready? Here we go. Here is the BPV translation of Daniel 11:37. Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor desire to eat his vegetables, nor regard any god, for he shall magnify himself above all. I don't know if you're as astonished at this translation as I was, but it certainly made me think twice about Daniel 11:37. And I have to be honest, not eating his vegetables was one trait of the Antichrist that I definitely overlooked. Of course, I realize that some of you won't take this BPV translation seriously. You'll say I made this up, and that the idea that the Antichrist won't eat his vegetables is not only ridiculous, but it doesn't even have anything to do with the context of the surrounding verses. To which I answer, you're exactly right. It's ridiculous. But it's no more ridiculous than it is to think that this verse is talking about the Antichrist being gay, which also doesn't have anything to do with the context of the surrounding verses. But if for whatever reason you're not sure on this, please just check the surrounding verses in the King James Bible. Here are the verses from 36 through 38, and you hopefully can understand that the context of these verses is God and gods. In fact, the word God or gods are mentioned 8 different times in just these 3 verses. And that's the whole point here. The Antichrist will magnify himself above any god because he considers himself above every god. And it's also important to note that the desire in verse 37 belongs to the women, not to the Antichrist. The Antichrist doesn't regard or care about what the women desire. If you're still not sure what I mean, in the description below you'll find 10 other translations of Daniel 11:37 that make it clear that the verse is talking about gods, not about the Antichrist being gay. And the verse is referring to what women desire, not what the Antichrist desires. Finally, I just want to say that we should normally go by what the King James Bible says, but occasionally the meaning of a particular verse is much clearer in other translations. And Daniel 11:37 is a perfect example. For a bit more information on this, I have an older video on this subject that you can watch, in case you're bored. So that's all for this breaking news update. Thank you for watching, and I hope everyone has a great weekend. I'll talk to you guys soon.